Mr. Speaker, I found the preamble to this big, ugly bill. We, the billionaires, and our king, in order to deform and sicken our union, establish injustice, ensure domestic servility, weaken our people's defenses, undermine the general welfare, and reserve to ourselves and our posterity staggering debt servitude for eternity, do hereby instruct the Republicans in Congress to strip 17 million people of their health care, increase co-pays, deductibles, and premiums for everyone else.
Congressman Jamie Raskin, Democrat of Maryland, delivered what he said should be the preamble to that bill, currently working its way through Congress. He's a ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, and he joins me now. Congressman, let me just first start by your understanding of where things do stand with this bill.
It's up in the air. We've been sent home for the night. There are at least three groups of Republicans who are acting very recalcitrant and evasive. One are those who are saying that this is an absolute debt exploder, and they spend all their time talking about reducing deficits and debt, and this will add $3.5 or $4 trillion to the debt. A second group is those who are really afraid, if not for moral reasons, then at least political reasons, of what it means to throw 17 million people off of Medicaid and 42 million people off of nutrition assistance. So they might be afraid for their election, or they might be having some pang of conscience about it. And the third are those who learned from the Senate that they should hold out and try to shake Trump down for whatever it is they can extract for themselves or their particular political groupings or their district. So that's what's creating this long holdup. The shocking thing is they allocated only 1 hour of debate, 30 minutes on each side, to this entire bill, which will be absolutely life-changing for basically everybody in America. 1 hour of debate, and then they've kept us waiting around for 6, 7, 8 hours. We could have been debating the bill and talking about its provisions, but they would prefer to just have everybody, wandering around in the dark and eating bad pizza all night.
There was this exchange that happened today reported by the outlet Notice, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, because it, to me, kind of epitomizes everything about where we are. According to three sources with direct knowledge of the comments, this is Trump meeting with the holdouts. The president told Republicans at this meeting, there are three things Congress shouldn't touch if they want to win elections: Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. But we're touching Medicaid in this bill, one member responded to Trump. According to the three sources, we don't know what Trump said back. What do you make of that?
Well, there's a lot of discussion on the floor about whether or not Trump really understands what's in this bill or not, and whether he's out of it. And the extraordinary thing about that is that, of course, all of these people have gotten in line despite their own misgivings, because Trump is leading the way, but Trump might not even understand what's in the bill. So it's a very dangerous moment when you think about what democracy is, and it doesn't speak well for what has become of the Republican Party. Now, some people think that, it's just Trump's devilishly clever politics, where he's already distancing himself from a bill that he knows will be a nightmare, and then he'll blame it on somebody else for not having told him what was really in there. We don't know. But the point is that we should, as a society, be able to step back from this and say, look, if it's a great bill, let's take 2 weeks and explain to everybody how great it is. And if it's a terrible bill, let's get rid of it and let's start all over again.
Yeah, and I think, my read on this is that he doesn't really care that much one way or the other, and certainly doesn't care enough to spend the time to understand, the distributional consequences of the Medicaid provisions. There's no way that if you sat him down, he could talk you through what's happening here. But the other thing that I wanted to ask you about is, part of what's so weird to me is we had, the first few months of his administration and Elon Musk with his chainsaw at Doge, and Russ Vought at OMB, who basically have staked themselves on the constitutional principle that spending decisions for Congress are simple advice. They're sort of suggestions. And then the executive can do with them what they want. And it's very weird to be legislating under those circumstances to me. All this ICE money, right? Presumably some future Democratic administration could be like, no, we're not spending it. It doesn't seem to have ultimately sunk into Congress that they have allowed so much power to accrete to Trump and the executive.
Well, the Democrats understand it because, of course, what he's doing is sabotaging all of the legislation that we've either gotten passed with President Biden or that we've fought for some kind of compromise with the Republicans. And he thinks he's got the power just to impound it, thwart it, redirect it. And it's an absolute violation of Congress's powers under the spending clause under Article 1 of the Constitution. And it is scandalous that the Republicans won't stand up for that at all. They act like our power is purely advisory, like we're a recommendation panel for what should happen. And so we know that the district courts and the appeals courts have been standing with us on this question. And we hope that, Thomas and Alito are not able to pull the rest of the court over to this monarchical understanding of Article 2 of the Constitution, that somehow the president can do whatever he wants. I mean, the president's core job is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed, not thwarted and rewritten and not impounded. An Appropriations Act, Chris, as you know, is a federal law, just like the law saying you cannot assault a federal officer. You can't violate an Appropriations Act and just decide you're going to use the money for a different purpose.
Do you think the political consequences will show up for your members of the House who vote for this bill, particularly those, say, the ones in the swing districts, the ones like Derek Van Orden in Wisconsin, who's got a lot of Medicaid recipients and rural hospitals in his district? Yes, because the pain will start to be felt immediately as millions of people are thrown off of Medicaid, off Medicare in different ways, the Affordable Care Act, and as people lose their SNAP benefits. And what is it for? They can't say it's for deficit reduction or debt reduction. They're adding trillions of dollars to the debt. It's all to give money to the very richest people in the society who run the Republican Party, and they will continue this authoritarian program. I mean, authoritarianism is always involved in class war of the rich against the rest of society. Yeah. And so they're acting out this drama.